Welcome to the Spiritual Sweet Spot, a place where you can rejuvenate your soul. Hosted by author M.B. Moses. This is a safe space for all.
Welcome back, family, to the Decoding Dreams podcast. Hope that this podcast finds you and your loved ones doing well, sending positive love and light towards your way. I want to thank you all for continually downloading the podcast episodes. I want to thank India for the downloads. I want to thank Italy for the downloads. I want to thank Australia for the downloads. Canada, I see you, boo. I see you and thank you. I want to give a big shout out to my home territory, the United States of America. I appreciate your support. Thank you all for the downloads. Shout out to you all. Thank you. Appreciate it. We're slowly coming back, but I want to come back, been working on and ideas and concepts for a couple more episodes that I think we will all enjoy together. I thank you all for rocking with me in the last 2 years. I couldn't believe it had been 2 years, 2.5 now. But, I'm just so appreciative of every single download and every single minute that has been spent with people listening to this podcast. I heard Spirit echo something into my heart today that I said I had to rush to the podcast and share with you all. As much as I tend to go, I'm a bona fide vision board person. I'm a bona fide kind of write the mapping out of events type of person. And so even throughout the Spirit said to me, what is your dream? And here I am thinking, well, I know I have micro dreams. I have mega dreams. I have, shorter term dreams, longer term dreams. But I have one big dream, which I think all these smaller ones lead up to this big one. My dream of all dreams is to write on location, to live within my writing, to move within my writing, to wake up and just be free to obsess in my writing without having to share my time with other organizations. And when I say organizations, I'm talking about the job, J-O-B, right? But we all know that we have to do what we have to do till we get to where we need to get to. Now, those that haven't listened to the last podcast, if you had wondered where I've been, sis got a job. Shout out to the J-O-B, crew. Having that in mind keeps me motivated. But it made me feel really good thinking about it, because not often I realize, not often am I really looking at that big dream that I have. Usually I'm focusing at the ones that I need to attain right here. Though I've even Googled and looked up accommodations and places and so forth, and kind of have this in my mind, my first place where I'm going to write. And with this writing on location is starting the book, ending the book at the location. Does anyone want to take a lucky guess what country I would want to go first? I tell you, I want my first place I'm going to go. I plan on going for about a month and a half, 2 months. And I plan on packing very light. I'm talking about pajamas and sweatpants. And I plan on taking a reliable computer and a backup. And a backup. Of course, I'm going to have to bring my honey, right? Yeah, honey lives matter. And so I plan on the first place that I want to go to being the Faroe Islands of Denmark. Yeah, I know, right? Like, what? But yeah. Have you guys seen the Faroe Islands, first of all, before you knock them? No, I'm just kidding. But I say this is magical. I look at the pictures. I'm like, this is magical. I went in as far as looking up accommodations when I made it up in my mind at that time, and I said, this is where I want to do my first free act, in terms of devoid of all, just free to roam around and fully function within my passion that I love the most. And Faroe Islands was it. It's so beautiful. I said I could probably write a whole fantasy series, a fantasy book, something from start to end. I would envision a little cabin closer to the edge of one of those mountaintops overlooking. But maybe I would envision that. But like, real talk, I don't think I want to be in a cabin in a different country. Like, I envision it, but I don't know. Like, I would, if it's like 6 of us or something like that, but it's me and my honey, like, yeah, I've seen how horror movies play out sometimes, you know what I mean? So, but definitely I did a Googleation, on that Hilton though, that 5-star, or was it 5 stars or 4.5, something like that. But all the rooms looked wonderful. I don't mind that. I don't have to be out in nature like that. I could be on the toppest floor, or the highest floor. Toppest, what? I could be on the highest floor. English is my second language, bear with me. And I would be good with that. That's where I'm going. Without the concerns of the hustle and bustle, bill paying, wondering all these other concerns of day-to-day concerns, just being closed in on that island. Leaving just enough time to perhaps go stretch the legs and tour the little island. That's my first location. It makes me smile all the time. I get so excited, and it makes me so persistent in the things that I am doing right now, because I can't wait to get there. So what is your dream? How often are you thinking about your dream? What does your dream mean to you? My dream means to me, my dream means to me that I have to do what I have to do right now to get where I need to get to that dream. So it looks like focus. It looks like consistency. It looks like persistence in the things that I have going on around me in order to get to this dream. It also looks like understanding that the journey is not always a straight shot. But what I'm trying to hope that I learn from is every single step throughout this process. Before this question came to me, and there was a time in my life where I would get so laser focused on certain things that I had to do that I would forget to enjoy the process of the journey. I'm starting to realize that I think the most fun part of it all is the moments within the journey. And I noticed that Spirit highlighted that on me when I realized how I tend to draw my focus on something. And when I do that, I'm so hyper focused that I'm not stopping to breathe or smell the roses or doing and diving into the things that also matter, such as hanging out with family or other curricular activities. And by the time I'd looked up, sure, you've accomplished that part of the project, but there's been stuff going on in the background. So yeah, over the years, I still am trying to teach myself. It's not an easy process for me. Promise you it's not. But I'm learning. I'm trying to learn and unlearn that I could do both things at the same time. I could enjoy the journey and as well fulfill the needs of where I'm going. That I could still take a breather, relax, and have a good time with people or hang out with people and still know that I am on my way to this dream. What does your journey look like for you? And the other thing too is remembering to being kind to yourself throughout this journey. That was one thing that I noticed I wasn't. I try not to live my life in regret, but rather learn lessons. And that doesn't mean that I am not a person that's aware for the errors and mistakes that I make, and taking accountability and responsibility and apologizing when the moment is right. But it just means that I don't want to slump down into darkness of regret, but I need to learn what I could do better or different. Because I remember the last time that life afforded me time, before that, I was working nonstop, a lot of hours. And I used to always daydream of, oh, if I could work less, or if I didn't have a job, and I had a gym membership at that time. I mean, right? I'm going to make it, you know what I mean? Like, I'm starting to learn my behavior. I'm like, make every excuse on the planet. And I was like having this gym membership, and I was trying to work out and go to this busy, demanding job. And I used to always tell myself at that time, I remember I would say, well, I wish I just had so much time. Like, even if I didn't have a job, I would work out. I would work out like 3 times out of the day. I'll be super toned. You know, all the stories I entertained, because in that moment, it felt like I was squeezing in and squeezing out workouts around a busy work schedule. When the truth of the matter is, we can make time for the things that we need to make time for, and not make excuses for the things that we need to work for. Right? And so I had to learn as well about the prioritizing of time, of what was important to me and how it was important to me, and what I was willing to do. So I'm going to sacrifice some sleep to get a decent workout. It wasn't that easy. I mean, this was a long going. I joined the gym 9 years before they shut down. But I think when I was starting to just finally get it, it was probably 5-6 years into the gym membership. But those are the small defining moments of life when we finally have this awareness about our behavior, and understanding that you can unpack it, you can relearn it, and you can condition yourself to different behaviors. So this part of my life, and then here's what the epiphany to that story. So I get the universe makes this big gap and say, here you go, out of work, go figure it out. Did I stay in the gym like I said I wanted to? Nah, I wasn't even motivated. I was like, hey, nobody's got time to go to the gym when you got all this time. I need to catch up on Dr. Phil, the daytime shows. I'm just giving to you how life is sometimes. So it goes back to that prioritizing, right? And I could tell you within that moment, the only thing I wish I would have done differently was to seize each and every day and moment that I was free. Even though I continually heard spirit echoing that you gonna turn around and be busy, you're gonna be busy, enjoy. But I was so uptight, I couldn't enjoy because I felt, the other things that I was trying to work on and they were not working, going back to that behavior where it's like, I gotta be hyper focused on one and can't do other things at the same time. I'm a great multitasker, but it's just life situations themselves when they present. Now I'm like hyper focused on this, then I don't know how to go over there and do that because, and then I didn't enjoy. I said all the time I had. I could have gone to the botanical gardens out here. I've always heard great things about them. Heck, I wanted to go see the butterfly, butterfly something. I forget what it's called. The butterfly place in the botanical gardens. Or there's like a proper name for it or something like that. A technical name for it, but you get the point. So, and then I could have gone and finished my tour in the zoo. I wanted to go visit the art museum. I used to always say that. And then that's when I was like, wow, Spirit is really showing me myself. You kind of doing too much, Spirit. You're kind of doing too much. Like, I don't appreciate you just showing me my behavior like this. And you all, this is in the moment from the day ones that we've talked about shadow work. And shadow work is not just an overnight process. It's a continual process. So within this realm of time that I was separated from closeness and the physicalities of being around groups of human beings, like I was around animals, I don't know. But just being around people, you get the point. You get the gist. It was moments. It was dark moments. I was having epiphanies. It was dark moments. But I mean, once again, the behavior coming out of it. One day we would probably break down and go through the different steps. When you're doing shadow work, we will do a highlight because we've spoken about this in past episodes. But part of shadow work is confronting the most uncomfortable parts of your past. That little girl, that little boy, bringing it up to the forefront and facing it. You have to be ready for all of that. So here it was. In the moments where Spirit was showing me my behavior, just showing me, which is true though. I cannot deny it. I should have had more. I had more time. I should have really enjoyed the moment, knowing that life would pick back up. And so to someone today, if this resonates with you, understanding what your dream is and understanding what you are willing to get to your dream, don't forget to seize the moment. Don't forget to stop and smell the roses. Don't forget to enjoy this moment while you are on your way to the dream. If anything that life has taught me up to today or now is the preciousness of moment, is the preciousness of the now. This is where it's at. For me, what it looks like is knowing that I will attain that trip to the Faroe Islands. But in case life happens and I don't, I would have lived a good life and a pleasurable, enjoyable one. I would have maximized it instead of holding my breath till I get to the Faroe Islands. So the reality of life itself, understanding what your dream is, acknowledging your dream, whatever that looks like. Vision boards, wallpapers on your screen of that, or pictures in the house, whatever that looks like for you, scripting, whatever that dream looks like for you. Also holding on tight to that dream. Here's the other thing that Spirit is reminding me of. It's not an overnight process. Some things, some goals, some aspirations, some small micro dreams, some things do manifest quicker than others. But if it's that one dream that may need some steps, then give yourself kindness. Be kind to yourself. Allow time. One thing I'm so grateful of during my writing career, I've been writing for about over 14 years. And 14 is the number I have in my mind. I know it's weird. Like, wait, over 14 years. Yeah. I think I started writing in I started writing in about 2009, right? So we should just say 14. Okay. And counting. But in that moment, let's get back to the topic. In that moment of writing, I have changed quite a bit while I was morphing into my writer's voice. It isn't until the last few years, I want to say starting 2018 perhaps, that I actually honed in on a genre that I wanted to be in passionately, and also because life itself has changed and my ideology and my thought processes have also evolved. So I'm grateful that this journey in writing has taken this time, and it wasn't the first book I dropped in 2011 just didn't take, traction like that, because I feel like I would have been shoved into a category and a box that I would have had to maintain, even though I would have been evolving, and then I would have to stick to something that I wouldn't no longer have strong beliefs over. So sometimes it looks like giving that dream time, letting it breathe, letting it sit there, letting it marinate. And sometimes these things have nothing to do with what we have going on, right? Because, honey, I tell you what, baby, I'll go to Faroe Islands tomorrow if I could, but I got to go to work. But I'll go. And the way my PTO is set up, I don't think I can like use, you know what I'm saying? I need like a month and a half, 2 months tops. So the way that situation is set up, but I'll go to more. So sometimes my analogy being that sometimes we may be ready, right? But the dream is doing its thing. The dream is dreaming, right? The dream is dreaming. It's giving, the dream is dreaming. Bear with me. So here's the thing. Be patient in yourself. Continue to leave tidbits of reminders, vision boards, scripting in your phone, on your phone screen, and so forth. Because one of my dreams just manifested like at the start of this year, actually. 20-year-old dream. 20. Yeah, for real. 20. But this one part of the dream did change the course of my entire life and direction. It opened up more doors and more opportunities, but I will probably remember to talk about that. I do want to do a section where Spirit has been talking about limited beliefs and unlimited beliefs and so forth, right? But to you, I say, hold your dream near and close to you. We talk about the dream, right? What we're talking about is the dreams that we have here in this conscious waking state, because both things are directly related, your conscious state and your subconscious state. Hold steadfast to your dreams. Know that it doesn't always have to happen overnight, but that sometimes dreams know themselves when they want to maturate into your life and manifest as a tangible fruition. Have patience in yourself. But most importantly, be present in the moment. As you build that dream, as you go towards that dream, as you aspire to grab a hold of that dream, be present in the moment. Because within the moment itself is where the goodness is found. I love you all so much.